Hello everyone. This is Indhumathy, working as assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry in St.Josephs College of Arts and Science for Women, Huzur. So today we are going to see about the manufacture of leather. So first introduction to leather. So leather is the durable and flexible material which is obtained from animal hides and skins. So it is used in a footwear, garments, bags, upholstery, etc. So it is a durable, flexible and sustainable material produced by tanning animal hides and skins. Generally it is obtained from cattle, sheep, goats and pigs. Then the history of leather making. Ancient civilization used animal hides. Vegetable tanning was the first method. Nowadays they can use chemicals for modern tanning. The raw materials for skin. First one is animal hides. That is cow, buffalo, goat, sheep. Then water and chemicals such as lime, acid, salts and tanning agents. Then classification of hides and skins. So hides, it is obtained from large animals, that is cow or buffalo. Skins, that is obtained from small animals, that is goat and sheep. So this quality, the skin's quality depends upon animal health and preservation. Then what are all the steps involved in leather manufacturing? First curing, soaking, then liming, then fleshing, and then deliming and batting, then pickling, and then tanning, and the last one is dyeing and finishing. Curing process. So in this curing process, it prevents the decomposition of hides. Then the curing process is done using salt curing or drying. Then it preserves hides for processing. Then soaking. So it removes dirt, blood, and excess salt. It restores the moisture content so that it prepares hide for liming process. Then third process is liming. So in this liming process, they can remove the hair of the skin and epidermis. Then it uses lime and sodium sulfide. Then it swells and softens the hide. In this process, the skin gets swelled so that this hide will be softened. Then the fourth process is fleshing. So in this process, they can remove excess flesh and fat. So it is done by using fleshing machines. Ensures uniform thickness. Then deliming and batting. So it removes lines from hides. So enzymes used to soften leather. So it improves the flexibility of the skin. Then pickling. So in this pickling process, they can treat the hide with salt and acids so that it prepares hide for chrome tanning. So it lowers the pH value. So in this process, they can lower the pH value of the hide. Then seventh one is tanning. So in this tanning process, they can convert hide into a stable leather. So what are all the methods involved for tanning means that is vegetable tanning and chrome tanning so that it prevents putrefaction. Then types of tanning. So first vegetable tanning. So in this vegetable tanning they can use plant extracts. Then chrome tanning. So chrome tanning means they can use chromium salts for chrome tanning. And then aldehyde tanning. This is for soft leathers. Then dyeing and fat liquoring. So in this dyeing and fat liquoring process, they can add color to the leather. Whatever color they want, they can add some colors. And then oils added for softness of the skin. So it improves the appearance and durability of the skin. Then drying. So in this drying process, they can remove the excess moisture that can hold by the skin. Then the methods, what are the methods they can use for drying? Means air drying and then vacuum drying. So in this drying process, they can control the shrinkage of the skin. And then finishing. So surface coating and polishing get attracted, and then they can embossing and buffing so that it improves the texture and shine. Thank you.